Hello, Huskies. Welcome to week 6 of Distance Learning with Love. This is going to be the first part of the last project that you'll do for creative writing. So I'm super sad that it's about to come to an end, but I'm also really excited about this because it's my favorite project that you do all year. And I know I say that about everything, and I mean it about everything, but this is my really super duper extra favorite thing because at the end of your senior year, and especially this year, how challenging it was. It's a really great opportunity, this project is, to reflect on all of your K through 12 career, really, and create a children's book. So that is the final piece that we're going to be making for your creative writing journey, your children's story. And so the first part of that is going to be this week. We'll be working on kind of the brainstorming process, watching me read a book to you, a children's book to you, and then you're going to create your storyboard essentially, which is your rough draft, and then present it on a flip grid at the end of the week so I can give you feedback for your final copy. So let's go ahead and dive in. This is our weekly Google Doc that will break it all down. The video will appear here when it's finished. And this, again, just kind of breaks down your week. So the first thing I'm going to ask you to do, because I love it, is watch me read The One and Only Wolfgang to you. It is just one of my absolute favorite children's books because it's about a story that's really important to me. It's about senior pet adoption rescue, and Miss Huber actually introduced me to this guy that runs the Instagram account and ultimately wrote this book for his beloved animals. So I will attach that. It's still uploading. I just finished reading it a little while ago, so you don't have it here yet, but it will be attached in Google Classroom for you to watch. And really, I wish I had some student examples here at my house so that I could read you those, because several of my students have written honestly like legit awesome books that I wish I had in my hands. I might have a couple of digital copies. If I can dig those out, I'll attach those as well. But they've written some really great books over the years. So basically, what I'm going to have you do is watch that, enjoy it, I hope, and then you're going to review some story ideas. If you don't know even remotely where to begin, I've got a Padlet for you here. It's also in Google Classroom. It is linked to a previous classes, this was last semester, their ideas that they came up with. So there's a whole bunch of stuff here. If you scroll on through, you don't know where to begin, this is what your peers think needs to be written for children. It says here at the top, what stories need to be written for today's youth. So think about that as you go forward. Maybe there are not enough stories for especially this pandemic, right? Like social distancing and all of that is kind of brand new to children. And there are probably some really important lessons that we can take away from all of this. So if you wanted to, you could dive in and write a children's book just kind of based on the experiences that you all have had in the last few weeks, if you'd like. If there's something else that's on your heart that's really important, share that with us too. This is editable, so you can add your ideas here as well, and look through them too to get some of your own. So after you do that, decide what you want to really write about. It doesn't have to be really super deep and serious, although a lot of children's books are, because that's how kids start to learn about these crazy, things in the world. But yeah, it can be unserious, it can be funny, it can be whatever, but it does need to be an actual story. It shouldn't be like a how to, tie your shoes step by step kind of book. It should be, full of characters, with a plot, they go through certain things. There's a climax and a resolution, all that important stuff, because this is part of your narrative unit. So make sure that you are telling a story before you decide on exactly what you want to do. And then what you're going to do is create a storyboard for your children's book. If you have a sheet of paper at home, in just a second, let me turn this down. I always forget. If you have a sheet of paper at home, I'm going to walk you through the process of turning this piece of paper into a storyboard that will include a front and inside cover and a back and inside back cover, and then 20 pages for your story to live in the middle on the front and back. Sounds like a lot, but most children's books only have like 1 or 2 sentences on each page, so really it actually works out very well. So the first thing you're going to want to do is hold your paper hot dog style, all right, just like this, not hamburger. You want to hold it hot dog style, and then you're going to fold it into thirds, okay, evenly as you can. So here and then here, all right. You see how that makes a column? It's going to make 3 columns actually. So you fold it into thirds as evenly as you can. You'll do a better job than I am right now. All right. Okay, got it folded into thirds, and then you fold it in half. Oops, just like this, in half. Okay. All right, now you've got it folded in half, and then you want to fold it again in half so that you have this nice little square. Okay, that is your storyboard. When you unfold it, you will end up with essentially 12 squares on the front and 12 squares on the back, which, like I said, will include your covers. So let me just show you how to break this down. And I do have an example attached in Classroom of one that is already filled out for you if you don't remember where to put what goes in each box. But essentially this very first box here is going to be your front cover page. So just give it a title, make sure your name goes on it, and these should all just be very, very sketchy. Don't spend a whole bunch of time doing images. This just kind of helps you plan your layout so that your book, you don't get to page 12 and are finished, or you don't get to page 20 and need 10 more. Basically, it just helps you kind of gauge how long, how much text in each box should be. So this is your cover page. Your inside title page is going to include a dedication. So who are you writing this book for? And then this third box here is actually going to be where you plan for page 1. Page 1 is always in a book on its own. And then pages 2 and 3 are, as you can see, that will be like a layout. Okay, we'll go all the way across. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, flip it over. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And your book should be 20 pages long, so that's going to be the last page of your children's book. And then on the inside back cover, I want you to do a little about the author information. You should write it in third person. The last box is where you do your back cover, and that should include a little synopsis or summary of what your children's book is about. All right, so that is the construction of your storyboard. Take your time, make sure that the story really kind of follows along with the plot line. You want to introduce us to your characters and build us up to some sort of conflict and climactic moment, and then, of course, conclude it. So that's what should be on your storyboard. And then here's an example of one that's already filled out for you, just so you can kind of see what I was just talking about. This is for A Bear Named Cody by Dakota. It was for his little sister, and this was page 1, etc., etc. I love how you get, and this is why I want to show you this, you get some close-up images of Cody and then also some far away stuff. So you really kind of want to play with your layouts. You don't want the pages to look the exact same on every single one. It gets boring if you do that. So this actually has some really pretty layouts that were sketched out, and the book turned out really beautiful as well. So that will be attached in Google Classroom for you to kind of look at. And then ultimately, what I want you to do is present your storyboard to us on a flip grid. So this is where the flip grid is. This is what it looks like. Oh my gosh, that's so fun to watch. Make you dizzy after a while. But basically, all I want you to do is tell us, kind of what, if you want to read the draft of your story, you can, or if you just want to explain what your story is about, that's okay too. But I just want to kind of know what your story is about so I can give you some feedback, let you know if you need to add, extend, delete, things like that. Okay, so you'll attach that in your Flipgrid. And then the following week, obviously, you're going to be making your actual book. I will try to find some technological options, like to build your book online. But honestly, if you have the resources at home, I would love for you to actually do a physical copy so that you too, after you make it, can do what I did and read the book to us. In fact, the elementary schools are asking for teachers to read books to students, but I think, if you guys write a really, really awesome book yourselves and illustrate it too and can read it to us, that would be the most amazing thing in the world, and it would really probably brighten their days. So anyway, that's the idea, is just that you're going to make a children's book to finish out your high school career and share it with all of us. So this first week though is just all about preparation and really getting some ideas together. If you want to bounce them off of me, of course, email, and I'll get back to you, but I'm looking forward to seeing your finished draft, your rough draft at the end of the week, when you've got all the layouts for your illustrations and everything too. If you can't draw, Google and come up with something really easy. Like one of my favorite stories was about a starfish that was adopted. The main character is a star. Everybody can draw a star, even though that wasn't really a star. You can do it. So come up with, some creative ways to get around any roadblocks you may have, and you might even really surprise yourselves. While I was talking, I just realized that it would be really cool to actually go out in nature even and write a story about nature using nature stuff, like maybe taking a leaf and drawing around it or taking pictures of different things. Like, oh my gosh, the possibilities are endless. And this is the last thing you're going to do for me. So please, make it really super extra special. Because yeah, I'm super excited and still loving to see all of your work. So anyway, have fun. And of course, let me know if you have any questions, and continue to be well, stay safe, and I miss you guys. Bye.